Why are Protestants missing 7 books from the Bible? Bibles such as the King James Version and other, Protestant non-Catholic versions. And Catholic Bibles have 7 more books. So these 7 books are known as the Apocrypha or the Deuterocanonicals. Catholics believe that it is the Word of God, that it is inspired by God. Protestants believe it is not inspired by God. But I'm going to prove to you in this video that it is inspired by God. So watch it till the end. Watch the video to the end. You're going to find out truthfully by inspiration of God, and you'll see it today that it is inspired by God. So, watch it to the very end, and I'm going to show you proof to Catholics and Protestants that it truly is. So let's get to it. Let's see. So the Catholic Church added 27 books to the Bible. Let me repeat that. The Catholic Church added 27 books to the Bible. The Bible only had 46 books, and the Catholic Church added 27 books, which is the entire New Testament. Let me transmit that one more time. Before Christ came, there was 46 Old Testament books. And the Catholic Church added the entire New Testament to the Old Testament. That's what's known as the Old and the New Testament. So the Catholic Church added 27 books, which is basically the entire New Testament. All the Bibles, Catholic and Protestant, had 73 books prior to 1825. So all books, Catholic and Protestant, all had 73 books in the Bible. So if all Bibles had 73 books, how do Christian Protestants not only have 66 and Christian Catholics continue to have 73? Like, why did that happen? How did it happen? Who made it happen? Stay tuned. Here we go. So, yeah, Catholic and Protestant books had 73 books, Old and New Testament. In the year 1825, the British and Foreign Bible Society, in other words, Christian Protestants, came together and removed 7 books from the Bible. Let me repeat that. If you believe in traditions of men, this is what happened. Men with traditions of men, Protestants, came together and removed 7 books from the Bible. But there's a backstory to it. So let's look into the backstory to it. If you look for a Bible prior to 1825, such as a 1611 King James Bible, other Bibles, you can search online. You don't have to go buy one. You can go buy a 1611 King James on Amazon, I believe, but you don't even have to buy it. Just search a 1611 King James. Search the history. Search all Bibles had 73 books in the Bible. So Martin Luther, the father of Christian Protestants. So by Protestant, I mean all Christians that are not Catholics. So there's Christian Catholic and there's Christian Protestant. So we could separate. If you're not a Catholic, then you're in the Protestant. So Martin Luther, the father of Protestants, was not in agreement with those 7 books. But he read Revelations 22:18. Revelation 22:18 says, "I warn everyone who hears the prophetic words in this book. If anyone adds to them, God will add to him the plagues described in this book. If anyone takes away from the words of this prophetic book, God will take away his share in the tree of life and in the holy city described in this book." So that is why Martin Luther, the first Protestant, the father of Protestantism, did not remove them. He was scared. He was scared to be plucked out. So Protestants did not know that the 46 books of the Old Testament, Christ and the apostles used these books. Christ and the apostles used these books. And if you watch till the end of the video, I'm going to prove without a doubt that they are prophetic. So Christ used these books and the apostles. When Christ came to this earth, those 46 Old Testament, they already existed. The ones Catholics use, the 7 books, the Apocrypha, the Catholics call them deuterocanonical, Protestants call them Apocrypha. So they already existed. It was known as the Alexandrian canon, or the Septuagint, the Septuagint. But it's known as the Alexandrian canon. It was the first Bible we had, the first collection. The Alexandrian canon had 46 books prior to Christ's coming, being born. So those books were already here. Around the year 90, the Jews, the non-believing, the Jews that did not believe Christ was God, that condemned Jesus, and they did not believe that Christ was God, came up with another canon. Canon simply means, a collection of books, like a small library, biblioteca, the Bible. The word Bible means biblioteca or a small library, right? So around the year 90, the Jews that did not believe Christ was God, they came up with another canon known as a Palestinian canon. So, but by that time, Christ had been crucified. So let me ask you a question. Jesus Christ used those 7 books. Martin Luther removed them. Regarding these 7 books, who do you follow? Jesus Christ or Martin Luther? Please comment below. Let us know who you follow. Do you agree with Jesus? And do you use those 7 books? Comment below. If you follow Martin Luther over Jesus Christ regarding those 7 books, comment below. Say, if you don't believe those 7 books are inspired, just comment Martin Luther that you follow Luther over Christ. And if you agree with Christ, that you follow Christ, you love Christ, and you do have those 7 books and you accept them, comment below. Let us know you follow Jesus Christ. Put it in the comments. So that's pretty much what happened. Christ used those 7 books. They handed them to the first Christians. And when they compiled the entire Bible, the Old and the New, those were all included. And, Martin Luther came along 1,500 years later. He didn't even remove them. He was scared to remove them. He was so scared but he put them after the book of Revelation. So he grabbed those 7 books, put them behind Revelations. He also tried to remove several New Testament books. They had to convince him to stop. This is a man bringing man-made traditions, removing books from the Bible, plucking them out. So what happened was when they were writing the book of Revelations, they seen what was happening with the non-believing Jews removing books from the Bible. So that's why that was written. That's why that was written in Revelations 22, verse 18. I warn everyone who hears the prophetic words in this book. If anyone adds to them, God will add to him the plagues described in this book. Because during that time, many false books were being written that were not part of the canon. Those were known as Apocrypha. So as Catholics, there is books known as Apocrypha, but they're not the ones that Protestants say. In verse 19, it says, and if anyone takes away from the words in this prophetic book, God will take away his share in the tree of life and in the holy city described in this book. This was written because Jews were removing books. Jews were removing books from the Old Testament that were converting many Jews to believe that Christ was God. So now, with that, we see that Christ used those 7 books, and we have so many so much misinformation saying that those books are not to be used, and that. But it's so sad. It's ignorance. It's ignorance. So now I said I'm going to prove without a shadow of a doubt that they are inspired by God. We're going to open to the book of Wisdom, chapter 2. So this is one of the 7 books. This is one of the 7 books that Protestants are missing. So now I'm going to show without a shadow of a doubt that these 7 books are prophetic and they are inspired. So we're going to go to Wisdom. You notice how Christian Protestants are missing wisdom in their Bibles? You're missing wisdom. You're missing wisdom. I don't say this with a happy heart. This actually saddens me that people would put Martin Luther over Christ regarding these books. So Wisdom chapter 2 verse 12 says, "Let us lie in wait for the righteous one, because he is annoying to us. He opposes our actions." Who does it sound like they're talking about? "Reproaches us for our transgressions of the law and charges us with violations of our training. He professes to have knowledge of God and styles himself a child of the Lord. To us, he is the center of our thoughts. Merely to see him is a hardship, because his life is not like that of others, and different are his ways. He judges us debased. He holds us aloof from our past as from things impure. He calls blessed the destiny of the righteous and boasts that God is his father." This was written around 50 years before Christ was born. This is prophetic. This is inspired. Who boasts that God is his father? And it goes on. Wait. "Let us see whether his words be true. Let us find out what will happen to him in the end. For if the righteous one is a son of God, God will help him and deliver him from the hand of his foes." Who was telling Christ to come down from his cross if he's truly God? Doesn't this sound like the crucifixion? Exactly. "With violence and torture, let us put him to the test, that we may have proof of his gentleness and try his patience. Let us condemn him to a shameful death, for according to his own words, God will take care of him. These were their thoughts, but they erred, for their wickedness blinded them. And they did not know the hidden counsels of God, neither did they count on the recompense for holiness, nor discern the innocent soul's reward. For God formed us to be imperishable, the image of his own nature he made us. But by the envy of the devil, death entered the world, and they who are allied with him experience it." So this, 50 years before Christ was born, already prophesied Christ's coming. That's why the non-believing Jews that did not believe that Christ was Lord, they removed that book. 90 years later, Christ was crucified around the year 33, and in the year around 90, they removed the book. And when they're writing the book of Revelations, that's why they wrote this. If you remove any of these books, they're just saying that you're going to be, God will take away his share in the tree of life. So that's why that was written, because they started removing books from the Alexandrian canon. So these books were here from the beginning, and then in the year 1825, it was in the year 1825, the British and Foreign Bible Society did the same thing as non-believers. What they do, they remove 7 books, just full circle. So there it is, folks. Those 7 books, the book of wisdom. Open your Bible. Do you have the book of wisdom? Love to you all. Share the video. Please subscribe. Hit the bell notification. Share it with all your friends, family. God bless you all. Love you all. And that's pretty much it. If you follow Jesus, you accept those 7 books. If you follow Martin Luther, you don't accept them. So God bless you all. Love to you all. God bless. Love you. Goodbye. Peace.